Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers?
Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace.
So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysics esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerovator, using the numbers or quote unquote numerals and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be their very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh yeah. Inna the sun, inna the sun, inna the sun, inna the sun. About to have some fun. Inna the sun. About to have some fun. Inna the sun. Inna the sun. Inna the sun. About to have some fun. Inna the sun. Inna the sun. Inna the sun. About to have some fun. Inna the sun. Yeah, yeah. It's shining bright in the eyes of this human. Sun is rising. Sun is rising for the eyes to see. I'm having fun in the sun. I'm having fun in the sun. I'm having fun in the sun. Great rising to everyone. Great rising to everyone. Grand rising to everyone. Asheo. That's right. Set your intentions before you go to bed. I did. You know what's so funny? Last night I watched. Hey, birds! You just interrupting. Well, no, you're not interrupting. You're being a part of my live. Last night I watched the last Fast and Furious movie before I went to bed. But before I went to bed, I started playing 523 Frequencies by Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. So I went to bed with the positive energy. But if you're going to watch movies like that, it's always important for you to offset it by watching the high level frequencies. And I had a wonderful dream this morning as I was talking to one of my teachers, Lloyd Strayhorn, in the dream. Him and I was walking through, and I think we just finished an event. He was laughing, we was joking, we was talking. And Lloyd is like a politician. Lloyd will walk through and everybody he knows he'll greet and hug and kiss and all that. So I said, boy, Lloyd, you're a real politician. You- I mean, Lloyd, and and I know Lloyd wasn't like that all his life. I know he was quite a shy person. Lloyd is one of those people from his beginning. And he says that he was shy when he was younger. Um, and being a number 16, born on the number 16, connected to that number 16 frequency, yes, people like the sevens can be very shy and to themselves. So as he's gotten older, he's become more, and especially being part of radio and television, you had to hobnob and know how to work with people and laugh and all that kind of stuff. And so I had a very good dream with Lloyd Strayhorn as we was walking, and he was there hugging everybody, and I was just greeting. He was hugging and kissing, and I was greeting. He might as well have kissed. If he was running for politics, Lloyd Strayhorn would win. Believe that. If that was his thing, that he would win. And I agreed with the dream. But then when I said, "Hey, Lloyd, I might have a party," Lloyd looked at me seriously. He said, "A party?" And then I woke up. So Lloyd likes a good party. Big up to Lloyd Strayhard, man. That's my brother from another mother and father. Respect the balance. Respect the balance. Let me tag him in this because I'm talking about him and talking about him good. First of all, um, why I said go to bed with intentions. You should go to bed with intentions all the time, with positive, productive frequencies. You can go to Infinite Waters. You could go to Billy Carson's YouTube and play the high frequencies like the 523 hertz, or the different frequencies to keep your mind high as you're going to bed. You could turn it down low because you're going to pick it up. You're going to pick it up anyway. You're going to pick it up anyway. So you know, um, so that's very very interesting. Yeah, 25 is a 7, which is a shy. They can be very shy and standoffish. People think 25 sevens or 7 people born on 16th, 7th, or the 25th of every month. They think people they mistake your shyness for being standoffish, and that's why you got to be a little bit mindful, because you'll develop secret haters, um, or people that misunderstand you, because 7 is the number of secrecy, and not only secrecy but also revealing secrets. So there's a duality. If it's a number that keeps secrets, it's also a number that secrets will be revealed. Today is 10/4/2023, and those that know military jargon and vernacular, 10/4 means I understood. So when somebody says 10/4 over the radio, whether it's police, whether it's military, means I understood. It's an understanding of what you communicated, which is interesting because 10 and 4 equals 14, which is a 5. 4 is a communication number, 5 is a communication number, and 1 is a direct communication number. So when you have 10 plus the 4, which equals 14, 1 is a direct communication number, 4 is a structural communication number, and 5 is a versatile and adaptive communication number, especially when you're barking orders, because 5 deals with crisis management in certain systems of numbers. 5, because 10/4 adds up to the number 5. When you break it down, it adds up to 14, which is a 5. Or you could add 1 plus 0 plus 4 equals 5, depending on how you break it down. Looking at things from a holistic perspective is what I strive and thrive to do. And that's what my class is all about on October 28th. Don't just break it down to the 5, look at it all so you can get the vibes of it all and be able to explain it and give your people a bigger picture, or give yourself a bigger picture of what's going on. So today is 10/4. So this is a number. This is from military and from a military perspective, 10/4 means I understood the communication, communicato. You understood the communication that's being said over the radio frequency. And notice that today they're supposed to be doing something between 2:02 or 2:20 p.m. My phone will probably be off from probably 1 o'clock until like 3 or 4. My phone will probably be off. And tonight I'm going to be interviewing myself and Carrie Ann Ingram on our new show called Healing Vibes. We will be interviewing Queen of Four, who was also born connected to the number 4. From a numerical perspective, I'm more about motivating people, not just reading you. And I want people to take numerovation where it has to go, because it's about motivating people with the numbers for guidance. And although they might be conducting a test, all anytime anytime this government conducts a test, they want to see the results of the test. So they're going to monitor the results of the test within 72 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours of testing. And they are very patient. They'll even wait a week, 2 weeks, a month to see how the tests worked. So paying attention and making your intentions at a higher level. Why I said that is because everything is a frequency. And whatever frequency they put out there, you can offset your frequency by doing the necessary preparatory things. Whether you're eating bad food, change your bad habits of eating. If you're doing bad thoughts or having bad thoughts, change your habits of thinking. If you're doing things that is unbecoming to the higher frequency that you're striving to reach, then you got to change it, because every man and woman out there and every child have a choice to make a change. Like Michael Jackson used to say, you got to make that change. I'm looking for the man in the mirror. You got to look for that man and woman in the mirror and make a change. And don't say, I can't. See, once you start saying, I can't and I try, you're already taking hold to failure. Walk with me. I'm trying to stay with the sun as it's coming up. Walk with me. Once you start putting words like can't and try into your dictionary, guess what? It becomes a part of you, part and parcel with you. So thrive not to say, I can't. Thrive to say, I am making progress. Say that word. That's what I love about Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike will tell you, stop saying spending money. Stop spending money when you're supposed to circulate money. Stop spending and wasting your energy when you're supposed to circulate your energy so it can come back. Because when you spend or waste energy, that means you're just giving it away without any reciprocation. I don't care if you're in a relationship. I don't care if you're in a business relationship. I don't care if you work for somebody. I don't care if you do. What I'm doing on my live is, and Dave Lester said, "Oh, what's up, minister? What's up, minister?" Yes, I am a minister. I am a licensed minister under the spiritual humanism, and I'm a licensed minister under the Universal Life Church. So I can officiate weddings. I could officiate bar mitzvahs. I could officiate Islamic naming ceremonies, spiritual naming. I could do it. I just haven't activated it. But I have all the paperwork and all the stuff and certificates, and I could order if I need some more. But I can do all of that. And I chose to do that and I could do it in any system, all because I've studied so much. I can do it under Buddhists. I could do it under Ifa. I could do it under Islam. I could do it under Christianity. I could do it under Hebrew Israelites. But I have a ministry of numerovation. So if I did someone's wedding, if I did two people's wedding, then I would show them the number patterns of them and how it can work throughout their life. When I decide to activate it, I have not activated it yet. So don't call me and say, "Hey, Xavier, I want you to be the minister for my wedding or officiate my wedding." No. I ain't doing that right now. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I will, but not yet. Because I think understanding the numbers, understanding your astrology, understanding your cosmology, understanding your spiritual unity is predicated on numbers. Before anything else, you got to understand how your numbers can work. And that's why in my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, towards the back of the book, I have a whole relationship segment comparing all the numbers together and how the months work and the days and all that. It's in the book. It's in my book. Lloyd has one too. And we come from a different perspective, but you can see the bigger picture if you read my book and his book, or read who else has a relationship in the back of the book? The late great Harish Johari, the numerologist from India. He also have it in his book. But every one of us comes from a perspective that will open your eyes to another level of what you can become and what you need to stay away from in this realm, because the realm of earth is the learning center. Let me say that again for the people in the back of the room. The realm of earth is the learning center. And if you're not willing to learn, earn, and return, then what are you doing here? If you're not willing to earn what you have, learn what you have to learn throughout your life, and then earn what you have to earn throughout your life, and then return it to yourself, or return back to the essence after you've learned and you earned and did what you had to do, what do you think you come through here for? Why did you choose your parents? Whether you're aborted, whether you're adopted, whatever. Why did Les Brown choose a parent that would one day give him up for adoption at a young age? Him and his twin brother. He's talked about the story all the time. But she had circumstances that said, I cannot be caught cheating, according to Les Brown's story. But Les Brown turned out to be one of the greatest motivational speakers that we've known in our time. And then when he actually found his mother, he found out that his own mother was a motivational speaker and a community activist. It's going to be still in the blood, no matter if you're adopted or not. But he did take on some of the principles of his adopted mother because he was raised with her since he was six months of age. So that's powerful. When he said that, I said, that's something to study. Because no matter if you was adopted by somebody else and raised by somebody else that's not your biological mother and father, because of the raising of that person for so many years, you definitely adapt some of the ways and means that person have shown you also. But yet in the blood, in the DNA, and the RNA, guess what? Les Brown still turned out to be a motivational speaker just like his mama. And his brother still turned out to be a military person, which the person she cheated on, according to Les, was in the military. So she already had a military mindset think about this. Let's get a little deep. Let's go quantum level with Les. And I'm going to share this with Les. I'm going to go quantum level with Les. His mother, may she rest in peace, Miss Rucker, the original mom, the biological mom, cheated while her husband was in the military. And then she was also a community activist, a motivational speaker, also in her neighborhood back in the day. Think about this. But the twins that come out, one is enthused to be a motivational speaker. The other one is enthused to be a military person. So what was in the mind of mom when she got conceived by another man, although her original husband was in the military? Gotta think. Something was in the mind of mom, and then those twins that came through, Les Brown and his brother, one turned out to be a career military person. The other one turned out to be a career motivational speaker. And she was dealing with a military man when she got conceived. You can analyze and say, whoa, that means whatever was in mom's mind and heart and love for that military man, one of the twins that came out of her womb became a military person. And whatever was her love for motivating or doing any type of community work, Les Brown took on that. I'm just saying that story just made a lot of sense when I started piecing it together. Because what a Numerovator does is take the numbers to help motivate through experiences, whether it's experiences for celebrities, experiences in your own life, after repetitively watching what's going on and observing what's going on and finding the measurable time of what is happening, then it becomes teachable. Remember, in order for you to identify the basics of science, to know, you have to see the repetitive, it's repeatable, it's observable, and it's measurable over time. Now it's teachable. And I say that in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, about those 4 different levels of recognize that something is no longer a theory, but it's now a theorem, because now it is proven over and over and over again in different factors in life. That's why I don't call numerology a pseudoscience, because I've seen the patterns, the cycles and sequences. It is not psychic. It reflects
and reveal the concealed cycles, patterns, and sequences in people's life from past, present, and what could happen in the future, both positive and negative. People got to really understand. That's why I want you to learn it for yourself, even if it's on a basic level or take it to a higher level. There's a billion people, over a billion people on the planet. I'm not threatened by anybody. I don't care. I love Lloyd, but I don't care. I don't care what he's doing. I respect what he's doing. I want him to continue doing astronumerology. I want people like uh, 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 what's her name, Jackie Levine, to continue to do her numerology and cardology mix. I am the Numerovator. I don't care about any other numerologists as far as how they do and how they lay their laws down and lay their ways and their scopes and their charts down for people. I do what I do so I can get the best benefit from you. If you go to them, you might hear a whole different or something similar. Because I remember speaking to Sinetta, and Sinetta said, "Man, you sound just like Lloyd Strayhorn." And I said, "Well, the basics of the numbers is always going to stay the same, but it's always going to evolve also. The foundation will be the foundation, but it has to evolve. And being that I'm connected to the frequency of the number one, it is destined for me to lead a trail somewhere else and not just become an astronumerologist like Lloyd have coined over the years. I had to be something that's going to motivate. And when I started looking and analyzing all these numerologists out there, white, black, Indian, and all that, I said, there's another way. I see something else. I see another fingerprint because I have an individual fingerprint. Lloyd has his own individual fingerprint. Am I ever going to be Lloyd Strayhorn? No, I will not. I will not be a Jackie Levine. I will not be Aquarius or Maximus. I will not be a Nina Diamond. I will not be a Brandon Smith. I will not be that. We are all individuals doing it from our perspective to give you the best form of guidance that you have to take. But if you're not willing to put in that work or that plurk, that play and work, having fun while you're doing it, or flirk, having fun while you're working, flork. Have fun while you working, or fork it. If you're not gonna fork it, fun and work, put those two, or plurk it, play and work, then what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So, again, family, today, although they're going to be releasing another emergency alert system at this is another level of frequency because, like I said on my last live yesterday, I've been doing radio since the late 80s. So they've been doing the emergency alert system for even longer than that. That's why people had to crawl under tables. That when you hear that sound, those are emergency alert systems and alarms. When you hear the long bellowing sounds that can go over every community, it's because in certain areas of the community that has a military type structure in it, those alarms will sound off so it can be heard through every community in different. So Atlanta has it, and all the different counties has those alarms. And then now that we have technology, they had to set up the emergency alert system that you hear on radio or on television. And then they'll come up with a disclaimer. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. And then they'll go and finish their spiel. But always remember that. Remember that it's a test. But remember, if anytime we take a test in school, we want to know the results of that test. So there is a result that have to come from that test. And believe me, they are studying.
the results that comes from that test. Believe me. So whatever frequency they're going to put out there, it is a test that might be harmless for some, might be not harmless for another. I just say expect the unexpected, both positive and negative. Because if you rise your vibration to a higher level and shut down your phone or your television, because it's going to broadcast on the television too, doing major network stations. Because that's where the broadcast has to broadcast. If they're doing a test, they can't just broadcast it on the phone. They have to, just like when you see Amber Alert, they do the Amber Alert on television, and they put the Amber Alert, now that we have phones that we can have in our hands, they also do the Amber Alert on the phones and or through any apparatus. It's frequency, and all of us are created on frequencies. Every plant, every tree, everything you ever see in your life has its own distinct frequency. Once you understand or understand and overstand and comprehend that, now you learn how to heighten your frequency and motivate yourself with your frequency and take your frequency to the other level. So when they try to shoot out those different things, you say, I got you now, beast. You can't do this to me. I got my frequency earplugs on. I got my good old high frequency juices and my good old high frequency food. I'm getting some good old high frequency sunlight. I'm grounding my good old high frequency feet. I'm laying down. I'm listening to good high frequency sounds of nature. Keep your frequency high and say goodbye to the lower frequency of this world, of what they're trying to put out there. Keep your frequency high and say goodbye to the lower frequency and lower energy people, places, and things. The friends I had when I was in the club smoking and drinking ain't the same friends I have today. And some of those friends have stopped smoking and drinking because they got sick and they got older. Some people got the gout and people got liver problems and all kinds of stuff. The people that were smoking and drinking, I stopped a little earlier because I accepted a religious school of the 5%. And then I went into the Ansar Allah community. Then I went into the Nation of Islam. So I had to keep my discipline. I left the 5% because I didn't see any discipline. The discipline was, the mathematics, and then but then you going at the corner and shooting dice and smoking weed and people getting shot and fighting over words and mathematics. Look, I couldn't stay in that. I had to keep moving from that. Respect to the 5% gods on earth. Today, some of them are really excelling to a certain level. Like Born Master, big up to Born Master. People like Ra Born and them excelling to different levels. Wesley Muhammad has excelled from the 5% to another level, to a full scholar. People like Abdul Hafiz, aka Minister Nelson Muhammad, all came from the 5%. You know what I'm saying? The poor righteous teachers, which I say prosperous righteous teachers. Now, I say prosperous righteous because you can be prosperous and righteous. You don't have to be poor. You can be prosperous. But somebody said something very key the other day about poor. Maybe poor was really P-O-U-R, the pouring of knowledge, righteous teachers. Somebody said that very, I forgot who said that, but it was, I want to give that person their props. So those that are listening that's in the Nation of Islam, it might not just be poor righteous teacher, because remember, vowels are interchangeable according to the laws of vowels. The vowels are interchangeable. So maybe in the writing of it, it was supposed to be poor righteous teachers and not just poor as far as being down and good, because that don't make sense for us to just be poor righteous teachers when the messenger taught us on mathematics is Islam, and Islamic mathematics it always stand true. And then you must learn to use those mathematics to secure luxury, good homes, friendships, and all walks of life. That don't make sense to be poor, and then you're telling us to secure. So there's something else. There's another dynamic here. You're telling us to be poor righteous teachers, but yet you say to use the mathematics to secure luxury, good homes, friendships,
in all walks of life that poor and that don't go together. I'm just saying. Don't y'all Nation of Islam brothers and sisters come after me. I'm just saying. After you study, that's language from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and now that you're in this time and we're all striving to take care of family and get a certain amount of luxury and good homes and friendship, poor righteous teacher cannot go with the mathematics of what the messenger says when he said mathematics is Islam, Islam is mathematics. I'm just saying that's what I got from it now as I'm grown up. As I'm growing up, I respect the lessons and big up to the people on October 7th that's going to name 127th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad Way. It's a new naming street for Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That man triggered a lot of us to become great speakers, great leaders in our community, both men and women. So y'all go over there for the naming ceremony of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad Way or street or road. I put it on my IG. It's going to happen on October 7th, which happens to be his born day. On that note, family, I didn't really put any subject and topic, but again, whatever frequencies they're putting out there, keep yourself high and say goodbye to whatever tests that they're trying to throw out there. Never going to tell you not to prepare. I am a I've been studying disaster preparedness for over 25 years. Still got the book, still studying. Still, when you see me with a bag in my hand or a bag around me, I have equipment that will help me to survive for at least 24 to 72 hours until I get to where I need to get to. All the time. All the time. And it won't make it don't make no use people trying to take it from me because they won't understand what I got in my own bag. Because I set up my bag for me because we taught a self-sufficient program. Keyword, self. The next keyword, sufficient. That's the key word here. So go figure that one out. Self-sufficient program we taught. Big up to the great Aton Edwards of the IPN, the International Preparedness Network. And it's beautiful. Hypnotherapy. Hypnosis. I did a hypnotherapy with her. The one, the only Kendall Cobbs, his wife. So that's a good combination. To me, when I look at it and from their numbers perspective, one is born on the 10th, one is born on the 7th. When you add both of those numbers, it adds up to the number 17. It tells me that those two can leave a great legacy from not only a physical number one energy, creative perspective, but from also the 7 energy, which is another spiritual, deeper research energy. And then it adds up to the 8, which is a money and asset vibrational energy that they share when you add the day that they're born together. And that's how I do my relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do relationships. If I want to find out how your personalities should work, then I would add the personal numbers. If I want to find out how your life path is working, then you add the life path number. The life path is found after you add the month, day, and year that you're born. Personality number is the date that you're born. If I want to see your alignment or your achievement number throughout your life, then I will look at the number when I add the month and the day. That's what some people call pinnacle. Some people call it life path. Some people call it the first pinnacle. Some people call it the alignment. Some people call it the achievement. I call it the alignment. The achievement number is called by Michael Brill, and the rest of the numerology world will call that the first pinnacle. That's the first strength of your development as you're growing older, but you can use that first pinnacle number to align yourself with what you need to achieve. You see how I just told the story? You could use that first pinnacle number to align yourself, my word, alignment, to what you need to achieve with what Michael Brill came out with cosmic numerology. I help to tell the story. That's all I'm doing. I'm helping to tell you the story from a mathematical interpretive perspective so you can put in the work
And sometimes most of you run from what you're supposed to be doing. Some of you run from what you're supposed to be doing. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers?
Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, numerovation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.